Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight I want to welcome Ryan Gavalier to the channel. It's been a long time since Ryan's been on the channel, but, well, kind of, not really. I was on his channel. We did the Queen series, but
Yeah.
it's been a while since we've done a one-on-one, but we
Mhm.
kind of have a special occasion because Ryan's been gone working on his first ever solo project. And by solo project, I mean, well, his solo album, even though it's an EP. And yes, I have a physical copy of it right here. And look at that artwork, kids. Look at that. But yeah, so Ryan's been out working on a record. He's back. We're going to chat about it a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of ask him some questions. We'll go for an hour talk. And if there's anybody in the chat that needs to ask anything or want to ask Ryan any questions about this new project he has, and there's Ernesto. What's up, guys?
What's
Hey,
up, Ernesto?
Ernesto. What would this show be without you, for God's sakes? Anyway, but yeah, Ryan's got a new EP out, Synthia EP. And I was going to bring up, you put together like a promo video, correct?
Yes,
Well, I should bring that up,
absolutely.
but I'll do that. But Ryan, how is everything going? And before we really start diving into the EP, as it were, I'm just curious. I know you primarily as a singer, a songwriter, something like that, a guitar player.
Yeah.
What was it that it prompted you to do like a synthesizer EP? I'm just curious.
Well, honestly, I've always wanted to do more than just play the guitar and just sing and stuff for a while. That's been the gigs I've
Okay.
played and like what people have really known me as. But I've always wanted to do more because I play other instruments like the piano and the bass and I've played a little bit of drums, but I use drum machines on my recordings and stuff. But I guess over I've always had interest in the synthesizers just because I think they have like really cool sounds and like so many options of what you could do on it, so many
Yeah.
knobs to like warp with it. You have like arpeggiators, sequencers, etc. You just have so many options. You could play like organ music, you could use it for pads, you can, play lead on it, or it could just be like really subtle stuff in the background. Like there's just a it turns your music, I feel like it turns it into like 40 almost. Like I feel like you get an extra like amount of like sensory I don't know, I guess like stimulation or something from it because it just like it just has so many more options and like so many different sounds that you just can't do on a guitar and such. And
Mhm.
so I had a few things that made me want to go buy one. I went to a Nine Inch Nails concert with Ministry also and Nitro Ebb, so there's a lot of synth music there. And I guess when I just actually watched people make this music live, I just realized the simplicity of it and I guess just but how big of a sound you can get from that simplicity. So I was like, I need to get one of those. Like, I'm ready to just start recording because I had already been recording a lot of tracks at that point of time,
Right.
but they just, for me, like, I thought they were really good songs, but there was just something missing. And I think when I got the synthesizer, I found what I was missing.
I'll be damned. It's like one of those come to Jesus moments.
It really was,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, things just completely changed. My confidence overall, just like everything once I got the synthesizer.
Well, let's try to, like I said, you created a promo. Let me see if I can bring that in successfully
All
without
right.
breaking the internet. Um, let's try it. I didn't set this up beforehand, but I wonder if that'll do that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, kids. Hold on. There it is. Okay.
Sweet.
Hopefully you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it though. Wait a minute. We'll make sure you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Kind of. It's really quiet. Maybe turn your computer's like microphone up or whatever.
Do what?
Turn your computer up, like your microphone or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, this is like an This is like a. I don't know if that's going to work, Ryan. This seems
Yeah.
like a failed experiment. But
Hey, at least we
well,
tried.
well, what the hell? It's. If anybody is familiar with StreamYard, it's always questionable whether something is going to work. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh shit, let me get back. How do I get back? Oh, there's me. There's us. There's us. All right. Well, what we can do, I will post the links to that below. You can also refer to it. I mean, I don't know if that's something that's readily available to you you can share from your end or not.
Well, I could
I
here.
was sharing it off of Facebook. That might be the problem,
Yeah. I think I have an idea.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, I see Ernesto ask the questions
Yes.
while I'm sending it to you.
Yeah.
I'll just answer his real quick. He
Okay.
asked
Yeah, if you could send me the video, then I could
yeah, that's
play
what I'm
it a
about to
lot
do.
easier. All right.
So Ernesto asked, I have a question for Ryan. Who are your influences when you put this album together? That's a good question, Ernesto. So I would say that I had quite a few, whether it's Kraftwerk or it's Pink Floyd or Miles Davis, B-52s, Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Bjork, just like,
There's one thing you haven't mentioned that I'm totally thinking of. You haven't
oh,
mentioned it. Well, Davy and I did a show. We looked at Neil Young Trans, and
okay,
I'm sorry. I don't know if that was an influence, but oh my god, I hear so much of that record
nice.
in your
I
work.
wouldn't say that was an
All
influence of
right, it's
mine, but I
just
think that's cool
it's a
though.
coincidence then. All
Yeah.
right. I like it.
I I've maybe heard that album like one time, possibly. I'm not a big fan of that era of him, but
Well,
I think
I recommend you just checking it out because you'll go,
oh no, yeah.
holy crap, listen to that. I'm just
I'm
saying.
gonna go reevaluate it now that you say that because you're actually the second person who said that, and I've literally like honestly probably listened to that album one time years ago, so I'm really curious
Yeah,
now.
Davey and I like that album quite a bit, but
Yeah, I'll check it
I
out.
wonder if that'll
But
let me download it.
I'd say also funk artist, like I don't know, like I'm trying to think. Well, more so disco. Like the thing is, this stuff I recorded here, I recorded like 6+ months ago.
Oh,
So
okay.
the stuff that I'm going to be releasing on the next EPs a lot more influenced by disco, like Chic and such.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say a couple other bands like The Cure for this album. I'd say um I don't know. There's a ton, honestly, but I really tried to like not lean too far in. Oh, Giorgio Moroder.
Oh
I
yeah.
can't forget
I can
about
hear
him.
that. I hear that in it. I hear that.
Yeah, I mean Vangelis. I mean, just any kind of like electronic artists who definitely had some kind of influence on me.
Mhm.
But I really just tried to do my own thing too. Like I really didn't want to lean too much into the influences. Like I wasn't afraid if they popped up, but I definitely didn't write a track with the intention of writing a song that sounds like somebody. It's like it was natural. A lot of this came from just improv jam sessions, and I find something I really like, and then I turn that into a song.
Well, our good friend John the Music Nut is waiting for you to create something like Joni Mitchell's Mingus. I don't know what the hell John the Music Nut's talking about, but I
Oh, I know
understand
what
what he's
he's
saying.
talking
You
about.
know what he's talking about? All right.
I am trying very hard to um find some female vocalists to work with, so
Yeah,
maybe that could happen.
that I can't help you with. I would think that that would save that to the desktop, but it doesn't seem to do that. Oh, we're just having all kinds of great technical issues. But really, John, you really? You have to pay him to listen to Neil Young? Come on now. Johnny Music said that works, Ryan. That's cool. So, Ryan, I just wanted to ask you, what were your beginnings? I mean, you've finally created this EP that's all synthesizer based, but like I talked about before, you were primarily doing guitar, singing with just guitars. But back in the day, when did you all start with the whole thing with music? Did you start out on guitar? Did you start on piano? What are your humble beginnings? And how
um
old were you?
yeah, so I was like always around music.
Hmm.
My dad, he played guitar. So I was always watching him when I was like a little kid play and stuff. And um, when I would go over to my grandma's house too, there was a piano there.
Hmm.
So from time I was able to walk, I was hopping up on that and smashing down on it, foreshadowing to an album on a keyboard. But um, yeah, like when I was 6, I got my first guitar for Christmas. And even though my dad was the guitar player, my mother was the first person to give me a guitar lesson, and she knew nothing about the guitar.
It's always
She
the
was,
mother that gets things rolling. I know how it works.
yeah, my dad did show me a lot though on the guitar.
Hmm.
And was definitely a big supporter of my musical growth. We were always working on that kind of stuff together. So but yeah, like um I guess when I was like 6, or when I was probably like 14 or 15, I started playing live. I did this rock school event. So there was like a bunch of different groups and we all had a different song, and or a set of songs actually. Um and so I was in the band and I was voted to be the lead singer and the guitar player. Um and so we had to come up with songs that we wanted to play,
Hmm.
and we did Holy Diver by Dio. We did My Hero by the Foo Fighters and Mississippi Queen by Mountain. So I worked for months. We were practicing. I worked for months on my own, singing these songs over and over and over again. Um, and a couple days before the final show, I got strep throat, or not
Murph.
strep throat, but like something with the throat. I don't know what it was, but like my throat was just ruined, and like I was just sick. I had a cold and stuff. So I still went, drank
Hmm.
some tea, had my guitar, started singing. Within a couple notes, my voice just cut because I was so sick. And so yeah, I kind of sounded like Tom Waits for like the next half hour trying to sing Dio. Playing the guitar solo still though. That was my saving grace, honestly, that I had the guitar at that moment because otherwise I would have been completely screwed. So yeah, that was like a good start to playing live, probably my worst live experience still to
Right.
this day. So glad it was the first one. But yeah, I just continued to play live, a lot of guitar and sometimes singing depending on what group it was with. I played at like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with this for this high school rock off thing with a band my senior year of high school. I was playing with some bands during high school. Had one that was kind of more like punk rock, grungy, then another one that was more like a psychedelic band. So I was in a few bands then. In college, I was jamming with a lot of people. I was in a couple different bands. Started playing solo gigs out around Kent, just mostly just me with an acoustic guitar singing. Those have been pretty fun, but yeah, I guess then I don't know, I was like 15 or 16. I started getting into recording. Um, I was using GarageBand at the time. I use Ableton now as my software, but yeah, I was using GarageBand on my iPad that I had from school, and I would just layer over layer over layer, bass tracks, guitar tracks, vocals, vocal harmonies, piano, like etc. And I was just doing this, and I had no concept whatsoever of how to record at this time. So all that stuff sounds like absolute dog shit. Like a couple of them sound okay. And like I've purposely kept them on my personal SoundCloud, a few of the songs, just so they could be there historically, but like they're pretty rough to listen to. Like the songwriting was kind of impressive to look back now, given my age at the time. But like when I look at the production, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Um, Byron. Probably not 8-track, but I
No.
am considering a
Reel to reel.
no, but I am considering cassette,
There you go.
and I have CDs right now. But yeah, so I got into recording, improves over time, started using more software, more microphones, more equipment, etc. Started making material I was comfortable actually sharing around with people and releasing and putting on streaming. So then we're basically here.
It sounds great. All right, so let's. Oh, there's an ad, for God's sakes. I've got your video up on YouTube, and it's playing an ad, of course.
Oh, okay.
But we've got to share this with the people. I should
Thanks.
have been in my personal account, but if I bring it up under the Grants Rock Warehouse account, I get ads, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
Um, let me. Well, since it's not playing yet, let's try it. It's like an experiment. See, there's the ad, but of course, I don't think the volume's up. Hold on. Can you hear that?
It's pretty low.
Is it low?
Yeah.
Well, how do we fix that?
You
I mean, it's up.
you have to probably turn up your microphone or something.
Okay. What are you doing?
I don't know, whatever is like causing your whatever you're whatever you're talking into, try to turn it up because it's
You
probably going
think
to
it's all tied in together?
yeah.
Here we go. Well, what did it just do? Here we go.
Nice.
Holy crap, there it is. Of course, I'm very loud now, so let me turn it down. Oh, stop. So anyway, that gives everybody just a brief sample of what to expect.
Yeah.
Ernesto has another question. Of course he does. From writing and playing to recording, how long did it take to put it all together? Valid question, Ryan. Well, how long did it take you to put this together?
Well, that's a good question because it's honestly not quite an easy answer. Um, because I'd say that like my sessions for this
Mm-hmm.
um started maybe about I'd say 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Um, and I'd say that these tracks varied in the amount of time they took. Um, just because like I kind of wanted to have a very gritty type of feel to it. I wanted it to sound well produced, but not overproduced.
Right.
So like I kind of let things be sometimes, like if I liked the way it sounded, like I did mix everything and like, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I didn't throw a bunch of effects onto this stuff. I tried to keep it pretty natural,
Mm-hmm.
because I like the tones that I created on the synthesizer. I try to avoid using like effects that are on the software, like on the computer, but only use the effects that are on the synth because it just felt more analog to me and I like that more.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to sound fake, the album. So yeah, I'd say like 8 months or so because a
Wow.
lot of these a lot of these songs were recorded in the beginning of that 8 months. Um, and then I continued to record stuff. And then there was a point of time, I'd say maybe like 2 weeks before, or no, probably about a month before I released this,
Mm-hmm.
where I decided that like I need to release something. I have like so many tracks right now. I have enough for like 4 albums and I haven't released anything and like it's good shit. I need to get it out of here. And so like I just made a decision I wanted to release something. So when I went through all the material I had and tried to group things together of how I would want to release it. And so originally this was going to be 8 tracks, but I just kept listening through it, decided 6. I was like, all the material here is pretty decent. There's some things that I think are just going to be outtakes out of like 30 tracks. Like I was like, some stuff is going to be outtakes. Some things I think are going to be better for a future EP.
Mm-hmm.
Because it fits stylistically more together. But I thought that this one, as like a 26-minute EP, it flows. It never feels like it's just a collection of songs. It just feels like everything's meant to be together. And that's the way I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be more of a little bit of a journey than just like some amateur, like just throwing a couple songs together, mixtape type of thing. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I tried really hard with that. So yeah, and then when I looked at the material, I was like, well, this is some of the earliest stuff I recorded, so I want to get that out first. Because if I release some of my earlier material later on, then it will sound regressive compared to the stuff that I continued to learn the synthesizer more and continued to learn my other instruments in production. So
Mm-hmm.
let me just say I'm very excited for the next one.
So, of those 30 tracks that you recorded, is there anything there that might resurface on the next thing? You might want to refine some of those songs, maybe re-record them, maybe flush them out. I don't know. Or are you the type of artist that, well, I don't want to deal with all that old stuff. I'm going to write totally new stuff. How do you perceive like the next project?
Well, all right. So I think I have, like I said, material for like a few more releases.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna release all the material that I think is releasable. There's some stuff that I think is gonna be outtakes, but like I said, it's only a few of it. Most of it I will be releasing. It's just a matter of how I'll release it, when I'll release it. Like the next EP, or maybe I'm kind of thinking of just doing a full-length album for the next one because I can.
Why not?
That one might be a bit more of a blend of sound between like funky stuff, kind of like the synthy stuff of the first album, and then maybe a little bit of extra stuff as well, I'll
Well,
say.
I mean, on this EP, you do have guitar on it.
Yeah, I have a little bit of guitar on
Right.
Magic. I have guitar on Magic Power.
Well, do you think that on the next release you're gonna like not just use synths, but maybe
Oh,
expand that more?
no,
Maybe
it's
use like, I don't know, real drums. I'm just throwing it out. I don't know.
it's gonna have drum machines again.
Okay.
I just like drum machines. I don't have a real drum kit. And um I don't know. I like the drum machines honestly, so I'm gonna keep using that. But I will be so this album or this EP that I released is mostly synth bass.
Hmm.
I'd say I think only the only song that is not synth bass, I'm pretty sure, is I want to say Magic Power. I think I used the real bass on that one. But other than that, it's all synth bass. This next one's going to be primarily real bass. So it's going to be like a completely different rhythm section. The drums are going to be way different than on this album.
Right.
Like, even though it is still going to be drum machines, let's just say they're going to sound a lot better. I think that the ones on this album sound really good, but like, so not better, but just different.
Well, these have a different type of tonality. It depends upon what you're going for. I
Yeah,
think on the EP, for what you were doing with it's all synth based. I think what you used for drums with the drum machine on this release fits the material
yeah,
top notch. Now, on the next thing, depending on what you do, you may, like you said, you may want to relook at that and try something else. But I think, at least on the EP, I think everything just kind of blends together in a perfect blend of
yeah.
synthness.
Thank you. Yeah, no, absolutely. I
If you know
mean,
what I mean, you know.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm using the same drum machine for the next one, but just the way I use it is a lot
No,
different.
what drum machine are you using? What is it?
So I have the Behringer RD6.
Okay.
So it's a remake of the Roland 606.
Okay.
And then I'm using a Behringer DeepMind 6 synthesizer. That's the synthesizer I used. The electric guitar I used for this album is Fender Stratocaster.
Hmm.
The bass is Fender Jazz Squire. Um, yeah,
Well, I must say that, well, you know, I've obviously heard some of your previous material that you've cranked out before. This is a bit of a departure, being that it is more synth based. But as an artist, you have to go with what your instincts tells you to do. You
hmm
know. Um, Now that you've gotten this out of your system, do you think we'll see more of you back on YouTube, more shows, or is this just? Are you going to keep going on with the music? And because there's been a little bit of a gap. We haven't had much of content from you lately. I'm just curious. Is this your new passion? I know this was always your passion, you know,
yeah.
but just curious.
Well, I plan on continuing this Queen series.
Hmm.
I'm considering some ideas I've been having for future content that I want to do on my channel
Right,
too. I kind of want to keep it at a once a month type of thing though.
right.
Honestly, like I work a lot, I have a job as well, and like on top of the music too. So like I think one thing I realized with when I was making so much content on YouTube,
Right.
I wasn't getting any time to work on my music, and honestly, my music's more important to me.
Right.
I'm a musician first, so it's like I think I've figured out a happy medium for myself to where I could do both and then also still be on other people's channels once in a while, like not all the time, but just like be able to check in, see how everybody's doing, like have some fun and stuff because that's honestly what it is for me. YouTube, it's just a lot of fun. It's getting to talk music with some friends and stuff and I appreciate that. So,
Well, that
yeah.
just kind of leaves everyone's probably wondering where you've been. That kind of addresses that. I mean, Ryan, you have to follow your passion.
Yeah.
The YouTube thing takes a lot of time. It's hard to do both. It's like a juggling act. Me, I have no life. I'm old, decrepit. No one cares. I can devote all I want to this. But you, young, vibrant, you need to follow your true passions. So, based on that, Ernesto has yet another question. So, what did you learn about making the EP that you might do different on the next album? Great question.
That's a really great question,
Well,
actually.
Ernesto is one of those guys always thinking ahead to the next thing.
Definitely. No, I think the biggest thing that I have figured out with this whole thing that I'm going to be doing on the next one is I think I've found more of my sound. Like I want to develop and explore different genres, but I think I know what my sound is kind of. So that makes it easier because honestly when I was searching so much like oh am I going to do like power pop on the guitar, just like very stripped down music? Am I gonna do like funk music, like stripped down funk? Am I gonna do
Well,
synth music? I kind of think I've found kind of a blend of how to do all of them and like also have my own sound in it, like a very atmospheric, a lot of layers, kind of sounds, kind of ethereal. Like, and that's not how everything I'm gonna do is gonna be, but like I think I've kind of found myself a bit. And then also, I think I've figured out a bit more production because when I started recording these sessions, I was still learning so much. And I mean, I'm still learning like the software and
mhm.
such, but I think I've found a bit more consistency in what I do, which will make it easier to have, I guess, a really, a really I hate to use the word consistent again, but I think that's the word that I want to use.
That'll
A
work.
consistent album. And so that, and then also just having confidence. When I first started recording a lot, I was sharing a lot of my songs with
Mhm.
people, trying to get people's opinions, see if they liked it. Now that I've put this out and I've both had like I guess at this point, I know that I'm not just making like total shit. Like, I just feel comfortable in myself and I kind of trust my artistic judgment. So at this point, I realize I don't want to share anything with anybody until I release it officially anymore. Like, I want it to be a surprise for people. I don't feel nervous
Yeah, I
about
get that.
releasing it anymore. So it's
Mhm.
like, I'm just going to keep it to myself until it's ready to go out.
Well, life is a journey. And as we go through life, everything we adapt, we change, we grow. Do you feel that once you put out your first EP, Ryan, do you feel like all of a sudden the pieces of the puzzle all kind of come together? Do you feel that?
It does. I mean, like, in a lot of different ways too, because I mean, like I said, I'm making the CDs and like
Mhm.
I'm looking to eventually improve the CDs too. I mean, right now they're pretty bare bones. I like it. I mean, I have the
Well, this
album
kind of
cover.
thing worked for Drake, so I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
and like it did, and I think it looks pretty cool too. And every single one is hand drawn. I've
Mhm.
kind of at this point, it's like figured out a consistent design I like. I'm gonna eventually I'll eventually just start replicating it in bulk so I don't have to draw every
Right.
single one.
Mm-hmm.
But like there is something special to that and it's pretty fun. But like I think everything kind of clicked on the business side of how I want to do it too, just promoting, making the promo videos, making more posts, having that discipline and also I guess just I don't know. Yeah, I mean like I think it all just kind of came together, like just realizing, this is something I want to keep at. Like I might still have a day job and
Mm-hmm.
like and I like my day job, so I'm glad to have it. And like, um, but it's cool to be able to go home or have a day off, be able to work on this and literally be making albums all by myself and not having to depend on anybody, not having to depend on a record label, just me. And I want to do that with other artists too. Like I want to meet other people. I want to record their stuff. I want to collaborate. I want to make this a whole thing. So yeah.
Good. Well, I put the link to your video right here on YouTube, but it's probably easier if everyone just goes and searches Ryan's Vinyl Destination because he does have the video posted there. You can get a sample of the EP. Now, Ryan, if someone wants to buy this, how do they go about buying it? Where is this available?
All right. So first of all, it is called the Synthia EP by Ryan Gavalier. That's Gavalier. And so I do have CDs, and right now I have them at $7. Shipping in America has pretty much been $5 I've been having to do. If anybody out of the country wants a CD, though, I can do it, but it's just going to be a lot more expensive for the shipping. I mean, I got one person like they really wanted a CD, but the shipping ended up costing
Just
like
not worth it.
$25. So like if
Yeah.
that's worth it to you, I'm happy to do it. But if not, it is on streaming. It is on Spotify, Apple Music. Um, it's on Amazon. You could either purchase it for $7.99, a digital file, or you could just stream it on Amazon Music Unlimited. It's on YouTube Music and YouTube. So that's free, obviously, and so is Spotify and Apple if you have accounts or whatever. But yeah, it's widely available internationally because of streaming. Definitely check it out. I mean, it's 26 minutes. You don't have too much to lose. I mean, if
Right.
you like electronic music, if you like progressive rock, if you like funk, if you like ambient music, give it a try. I mean, I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, I think you will too, because the thing is, I don't think I sampled any of this prior to when I got it from you, but I can tell you it's very fresh. I don't think there's really anything quite like it out there at the moment. I mean, a lot of people have said, well, that sounds like Neil Young trans. Well, that's kind of what I thought too. But you've never really heard trans, so there you go. But I mean, if you're familiar with it, if you like Depeche Mode, you like Kraftwerk, I might even hear some Devo influences. I mean, for God's sakes, you're up in Northern Ohio. There had to be some Devo influences. Um, I think everyone would dig this. I mean, t- uh, it's
Oh, the
to,
Bee Gees. That's another person that I forgot to say for Ernesto. They're a huge, huge part of like, um, especially Your Love, like those
mhm,
harmonies and stuff.
mhm.
Definitely had the Bee Gees in mind there.
There you go. So anyway, Ryan told us where you can get it. It's streaming. It's on Amazon. You can sample this file that I put a link down to check it out. He is also making CDs if you'd rather have a physical copy. Um, if they want a physical copy, how should they get a hold of you? Because I can put the link down below.
Sure.
Um,
So I would say that the best place to reach me would probably be um, messaging me either on Instagram or on
okay.
Facebook. The page. So on Instagram, it's at Vinyl Destination 1984.
Actually,
Um,
Ryan, I think I've got both of those links because whenever I post a new video, they're already
oh yeah.
there. So
Okay.
you can look at that in the description in the bottom. I'll have those links. So if you want a physical copy, please contact Ryan that way and then he'll be able to set you up. But other than that, I mean, if you don't like a physical copy and you're a streamer, Ryan's got you taken care of. I'm just curious before we wrap this up, have you started on the next record by chance?
Oh yeah. No,
Oh, you've already
absolutely.
started. Okay.
Well, like I said, I have a ton of material already, and I'm just right now I'm back in like a period of just recording some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I've recorded tracks um that are going to be on the second one. I've
Mm-hmm.
recorded stuff that won't be on it, but I'm recording right now and I'm kind of getting an idea of what material I want to be on the second one. I'm just deciding if I want to do another EP or an album because I could go either way because I have a lot of really good material for this
You know, a
one.
lot of people start out with the EP
Yeah,
and they make the album. It's kind of like the
definitely.
REM thing, but that's just not REM. But there's a lot of different artists that have done that. Probably XTC, I think, and God knows who all. But I mean, what? There's no rush. You're the artist. You have to do what you feel inspires you and what's going to just come to fruition and with your own music. You cannot control it. But I'm sure once people hear this, they're all going to be into it and they're going to want more. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's very fresh. I've listened to it, I don't know, four or five times.
Nice.
Well, Brian, I'm a big fan. And I highly recommend it. I don't know. I can't, who knows what everyone likes, but I think for an EP, I think this is, well, I'm blown away by it. But I've also been a fan of your work before. You let me use one of your tunes that I've used, and I still use it every now and then for my
Mhm.
opening for Grant's Rock Warehouse. And that's much more guitar based. So,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And honestly, there might be more guitar based. I mean, I'm already doing more guitar based stuff, honestly. There's going to be a lot of guitar on this next album.
Okay, good.
But
Because
there's going to still be synth as well. And then there's going to be bass. Like I said, a lot of bass. I'm going kind of crazy with the bass sometimes. But yeah, it's going to be really cool, and yeah, I appreciate that you did this interview too, because like I do really want people to hear this, and everybody that I've talked to so far has enjoyed it quite a bit, and that's honestly pretty humbling to me because I really didn't know what people were going to think of it. I kind of got to a point where I was like, I'm going to release what I want to release, and if it's too weird for people, that's okay, because it's, I've released it and like I like it, and so the fact that other people are really liking it too is just really
John, yeah.
powerful.
Hmm.
Oh, John, your CD's great. But yeah, no, it's just been really awesome, and I'm just appreciative of everybody who's listened to it, everybody who's bought a copy, everybody who's shared about it on social media,
Hmm.
like you. and Armando and Davy and Patrick, my friend Patrick, and my sister Rachel, and a bunch of other people have just shared it all around. John Klauser,
My music corner,
Todd.
there he is making a comment.
Yeah, like a ton of people, honestly. And I just really do appreciate that. And if you really like it, yeah, just share it around and just let people know about it. Because I'd really love to get people listening to it.
Well, we're trying to put the message out there, It's all about getting new music out there. And, well, Ryan, you already know how this channel is. It's all about getting people exposed to new stuff. And hey, this is your first EP. Everybody on my channel already knows who you are, for God's sakes, but this is a different side to you that they don't know. We are trying to promote that, and hopefully, everyone, please check out the links below. I already posted the video. Check out his channel, Ryan's Vinyl Destination. You can see a link to the music there. What can I say? But congratulations, my friend. I'm really proud and happy that well, you're doing you're doing your passion, and that's what really matters. Like, look
Thank
at
you.
this. I'm doing this show, for God's sakes, Ryan, and it took me all this time to realize my passion. And everybody has their thing,
No, that's awesome.
so glad I
Yeah.
can be there for you to help promote, and I'm just proud. I can hardly wait to hear the next thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
John the Music Net. Ryan and John have to do a tour.
That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
there you go. John Clauser's ready to collaborate. So here we go.
Sweet.
The meeting of artists. So
Sweet.
Ryan, is there anything else you need to add before we wind this up? Like I said, thanks so much for doing this. I love to promote new music, and you fit right in there. So
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having
sure,
me on. I
of
really
course.
appreciate it. Last thing I'll say, I've set a goal for myself. I've set a deadline. I want the next one to be released in 6 months because I already have a lot of material recorded.
Yeah.
I am currently recording a lot. I'll probably work on some stuff after this, honestly, but I want it to be released in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So keep an eye out. I will definitely have it all over streaming and such, and I'll be posting a bunch, but who knows? Maybe I'll even release some singles in promotion for it this
There you
time.
go. Do some singles.
Definitely.
Yeah, why
So,
not? I mean, think about it. The whole music industry and the way things are. I mean, in a way, it's not as restrictive, but in a way, it's restrictive. You, Ryan, as an artist, can do anything you want.
oh yeah.
You know,
That's the way I plan on keeping it too. I'm really not interested in how having anybody tell me how to make my music, and if that means I just, release stuff on Spotify by myself and make my own CDs, I'm perfectly happy to do that. Um because this is awesome, honestly.
well, Ryan, as I build my empire, I'm just joking. You're always welcome to come back, and of course, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm acting like Ryan will never be here again. Don't forget, Ryan will be back next month. We've got to finish we're working on our Cheap Trick series.
Mhm.
We've got, what the hell else do we have? We're doing the Queen series on your channel,
Beach Boys.
Beach Boys series, ABC. Were
I'm
you
not
on?
on ABC.
Oh, well,
But I
shit.
am, aren't we doing Big Star?
Well, yeah, I'm not, I have to look at my calendar to see if we've got that on there, but
I
yes, we
think we
are.
do. But
So, yes, Ryan will be back on the channel. There is more to come, but please check out the link. Check out his music. Like I said, if you want a physical copy, check those links down below. I don't think they're on this live stream right now, but I will add them once we're done. And I don't know. There you go. All I can say, my friend, I'm proud. I keep going, keep doing it. Follow your dream.
absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
You too. Build your empire.
I'm building the empire, kids. Well, you never know. It's all up to the people that follow me. It's not up to me. If you dig what I do, cool. If you don't, well, But anyway, I want to thank Ryan Gavalier. Check out his new EP, the Synthia EP. And as you know, it's available on Amazon, Apple Music, everywhere you go to get tunage. And check it out. Please buy and please subscribe to my channel. And you know what? Subscribe to Ryan Gavalier's channel for God's sakes, because there is
Yeah.
more content coming on his channel. We're doing the Queen series. That's more to come. So anyway, Ryan, I'm going to wish you good night. And thanks for coming on. This was a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
All right. All right, everyone. Good night. And we'll see you on the next one. And, I would say I don't know what's up next. So I live in the moment. So, all right, Ryan, we'll see you. Have a good night and take care, everybody. And we'll see you.